Wait, no.
Extra, extra. All the news that's fit for print.
Hello?
Hello.
Wait,
Welcome to Oakmont University Library.
what
Joy Hayden. Can I
the...
help?
Charles Reed, private investigator.
Welcome back, everyone, to a new episode of Jin Plays The Sinking City. I figured it out. I'm actually in the wrong spot. This is the Oakmont University Library. University's there. I mistook it as it's the library. The actual place is over here. If the game doesn't freeze on me, or just, yeah, that might, some reason might this stopped the cursor, but it's over here. So now I have to trek my way over there. So I taste like the dreams of mad children. That's interesting. There's a clearer text right there.
Extra, extra. All the news that's fit to print. Buy a paper, mister?
I'm good. Maybe
Extra,
Can
extra.
I?
All the news that's fit to print. Buy a paper, mister?
I can't. Even if I wanted to. Okay. Let's activate that fast travel.
Extra, extra. All the news that's fit to print. Buy a paper, mister?
You have the same voice as the other guy. You're a mimic. Talk to you.
Welcome to the University of Oakmont. How can I help you?
I'm looking for Professor Westerbrook. You know where I can find him?
You're the one bringing him the specimen?
Specimen?
Never mind. He's in the Department of Medicine. Let me show you.
You recognize this bottle? You know where it comes from?
Sorry. We have hundreds of bottles like this in the university.
Fine. I need to know what's in it. Any suggestions?
You need an analysis. Well, I'm sure someone from the Department of Medicine can help there.
You have a good day.
Goodbye, sir.
Okay. Department of Medicine. Can I walk through this door, or have to go around? Go around. You spin me right round, baby, right round. I don't know the lyrics to that song. There it is. Oh. Department of Medicine. Hello, kind sir.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Oakmont University Department of Medicine. I'm Samuel.
Charles Reed, private investigator. I have a few questions if you don't mind. You recognize this bottle? Maybe you could tell me what's inside.
That's one of our lab bottles. We have a lot of them. As for what's inside, I'd need to run some tests.
Yeah, could you do that for me?
These tests aren't cheap. And the other day I could get right to it, but we're, somewhat hindered right now.
What's up?
Our lab is crawling with, well, creatures. Professor Westerbrook's research is a little unconventional, and something went wrong. Really wrong.
And you want me to kill him.
So, if I do a little pest control for you, you'll run those tests for me. For free?
Our budget is tight. You'd be helping the cause of science, Mr. Reed. Isn't that enough?
Oh, I guess science could help itself.
All right. Yes. You solve our problem, and I'll run the test for you. Off the books. Here's the key for the basement.
Yeah, come on, man. I'll get rid of those guys for you. I have a gun. I'm just leaving money around, man. Guys like me just come by and taking it. It's like I'm gonna take this. Look at all that. Wow. 12. Look at that. I have 19 bullets. Oh my gosh. Playing so many games. They all work so differently. What is that? Oh. Oh.
Fast as fuck, boy.
I don't know what you're trying to do there. Before I go up there to talk to him, let's explore a bit. I should probably heal myself, actually.
What kind of person would even touch this? Not to mention dissect it.
You were cold as ice.
Experiment log, part 1, March 2nd. I have finally received a living specimen. Sadly, it's only the smallest one. The grunts call it Mr. Handsome, but I think it needs a proper name. March 3rd. Was thinking about the name for the specimen all night. I began a series of experiments on the creature. So far, it has proven exponentially resistant to all the poisonous substances that at my disposal, as well as acid and electrocution. Its shrieking, though, is bound to haunt me. Its shrieking, though, is bound to haunt me. Sorry, terrible way to read it. March 5th. Last night, I had a vision. Thousands of hands wrapped around me as a blanket, and I heard the name inside my head. Stygian Harvester. Stygian Harvester. Interesting.
Some serious equipment they've got here. Oakmont University is clearly well funded.
Got some brains. Can't carry anymore. I can carry more, I just gotta make more. Indeed, let's go on. Experiment log part 2. March 10th. With those pesky limitations removed, I can finally continue my experiments unhindered. I need to know more. The specimen remained alive even with half of its internal organs removed. It's fascinating. I'm on the verge of a breakthrough in biology as we know it. March 15th, I developed a way to reanimate their tissue, even in one that's been dead for weeks. This is monumental. The possibilities of it, the implications. Does this hint at something hidden? Some trait present inside the other creatures? Or perhaps even ourselves? I will need to find volunteers. Oh no. Someone's becoming. What the fuck is this thing? It's like the human centipede of nightmares. Holy
I'm glad this thing is dead. Why do they even keep it here?
Tell me about it. Oh, there's something new. I like that. Oh. Not cool. How do you go into Mind Palace again? Ah, that's right. That thing's ugly. This dude's doing some unsavory things.
Your lab is certified creature-free.
Excellent, Mr. Reed. You've done us a great favor. Now we can get things up and running again.
Okay. I've done my part. Here's the bottle. Now you run those tests.
Yes. Wait here. It shouldn't take long. We finished that analysis, sir. It's ricin.
Ricin?
A highly toxic poison extracted from castor beans. It's slow acting, but absolutely fatal to humans.
So, where do you get ricin? This isn't something you can pick up from a drugstore.
About that. It is rare, but we have a certain amount of it here. For study, in our poison store. Or we did. I'm afraid that must be where it came from. The label had been tampered with, but it certainly looks like ours. Where did you find it?
Crime scene. Someone was trying to poison a bunch of fish with it.
This is horrible. I need to warn everyone in the university about this.
Who's got access to where the poison's stored?
Only Professor Westerbrook has the key. His office is upstairs, right alongside Professor Cavendish's. Professor Westerbrook's not here, though. He's been sick for the last few days. Professor Cavendish is away as well, on vacation.
Where do they live?
I'm not sure, but probably somewhere in Advent. Most of the teaching staff live there. Wait, you don't think it was one of them?
I'm working on that. Can you let me upstairs?
Well... all right. This is serious. I'll help you. Here's the key, but please don't disturb the professor's things.
I'd like to know a bit more about your professors.
What do you want to know?
I want to know more about Westerbrook.
He's the head of our department. He's been here for, well, at least 30 years. He's one of the longest-serving staff we have. As you've already seen, he's particularly interested in the wild beast that recently appeared in our city.
Yeah, that's quite the unique fauna you have there.
I've no idea how he did it, but Mr. Throgmorton's men brought him live specimens for his research. He thinks he's on the verge of a breakthrough in evolutionary theory. A secret that, once revealed, will benefit all humankind.
Some secret should stay buried, 6 feet under.
You're not a man of science, are you? It's not about why. It's about what if.
What can you tell me about Professor Cavendish?
He's one of the most brilliant teachers we have
about
here.
that.
A PhD at only 25. Just imagine. His biochemistry studies are second to none, worthy of a Nobel Prize. If he could complete his work.
What's his problem?
I don't know. There's some kind of family trouble. It's made him standoffish and irritable, and easily distracted. I hope he gets through whatever he's going through. We need his talent, especially in these dark times.
I'll see you later.
So now I can't ask him about this stuff. That's something I gotta remember.
I'll see.
Okay. have access to the rooms upstairs. Let's check them out. EOD is banned. Can I open? Seems kind of silly. Note from Professor Westerbrook. This is absurd. It's been 5 months and they still haven't finished repairing my office. I'm done sitting in the corridor like some kind of waiter. I won't step foot into this building again until the works are finished and or you give me Cavendish's office. You tell that to the board. I'm through with this farce. Westerbrook. Makes me wonder. Can I... I don't waste a bullet. Look at that drawing. It's a nice drawing. See, this upper area of the human muscle structure. I remember drawing that in art class. Really fun. Really complicated though, with the names. There's George Cavendish's office. Well, it looks like I can go into the whatever you call it, mind's eye.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
Huh. Alright, there you go. There you go. Draft of an article. Brothers and sisters. Crossed out. Too familiar. My fellow Americans. Crossed out. They are Americans too. Citizens of Oakmont. How much longer will we put up with those fish-faced bass? Crossed out. Those sea folks. The sea freaks. He's trying to be polite, I guess. Crossed out. How much longer will we put up with this? Those cave-forsaken degenerates who call themselves the EOD. Crossed out. Interesting. Okay. Anything else? Can I grab that? Alright, creepy dude. Giving me a heart attack. Oh god.
These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison. These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison.
You have to go to my mind palace. Oh, look at that drawing. Alright. Keeps prompting me to go, so. A secret chamber in the warehouse. I found what seems to be some sort of holding pen or possibly even a torture chamber in the EOD warehouse. The guard is afraid of Anna. Daryl Grimes has told me that Anna is ruthless in her judgment of guilty EOD members. He is clearly afraid of her. George Cavendish made a spare key. George Cavendish made a spare key for the poisonous substances storage area. That's definitely going to be those, right? Only Professor Westerbrook at the Oakmont University Department of Medicine has ready access to poisons. So, George Cavendish, a professor at Oakmont University, is the poison thief. He made himself a copy of the key to the poison locker, according to his student. He lives somewhere in Advent. Alright. Nope. Okay. So Cavendish was the guy who had made a copy of the key, so that's pretty damning evidence right there. Or why would you make a copy of the key? Don't carry anymore. I wish I had access to his office, because I wonder if it would have provided more information.
Also,
Just hope maybe I could still talk to him through that. He said, live somewhere in Advent. This doesn't look like a residential area, so I don't think he would live in here, would he? I would assume it would have the H on the door. Is this it?
the door won't budge.
What's this place? Hmm.
6 hours later.
Oh my gosh. I'm probably doing this all wrong. I don't have any information on where he is. I'm just walking around in circles. It's an infested area. I don't want to walk into that, so I'll probably go this way. Oh my gosh. There's so many of you. Alright. Oh. It was so fast.
He's mad. He's completely mad.
Why am I mad? Those things are attacking me! You just let a wild beast eat your face? My gosh. That's an idiot. It's like 5 of them. I wasn't gonna hand-to-hand combat all of them. Well, probably something good up there, but I have to get back to searching. Alright, I'll take it. Uh-oh. Looks like my camera stopped working, so we will have to go through this without it. Again, I might have to peer into a guide with this one. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, I'm giving it the ghost.
Several bad puns later.
Ha ha ha. So I have to consult the archives just to get this in City Hall. Interesting. Okay. That's an interesting way to do it. See, you gotta really like think outside the box, kinda. Not really, because these are probably obvious for real detectives. Like, oh, we get information. Let's go to City Hall. It should have like regular like basic information on everybody down there that's open to the public. That's how we work, right?
Yes, yes, I haven't got all day. What do you want?
Just wanted to say hi. I'm new in town.
Oh, how nice for you. If you need to look anything up in our archives, get in line like everybody else.
Get in line? I'm the only one here. Well, I guess that means I'm first then. So, I could just go look up what I need.
Don't sass me, young man. Next time there could be a line here, and you'll get no special treatment.
Hey, you are the one to give me sass at first, lady. Think there it is. So, George Walter Cavendish. Date of birth, January 26, 1983. Place of birth, Oakmont, Massachusetts. Right? Hope I'm reading that right. Place of residence, Oakmont, Massachusetts, Advent Central, St. Michael's Road between Carpenter Street and Constitution Street. Flat 2. Professor of Biology. So he lives in St. Michael's Road between Carpenter Street and Constitution Street. Probably right here. Alright, I walked past this area. Just better have his place. Oh, what? Gentlemen's Club. Hello.
The door won't budge.
Yeah. So this would be it, right? This would be here? Yeah. So it didn't open the first time when I was here. So I guess
The door won't budge.
came in a little too early. I'm using my deductive skills, man. So I did find it. Hello. Tag from the baby carriage. If you want it, take it. It's free. A free carriage. It's cute. Alright. Nothing here. Okay. Nope. Hello? Anybody home? Just gonna invade your space here. What? Did I discover something that I just...
This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation. And the EOD's in the center of all of it.
Newspaper issue March. Going, gone. Body count rises as vanishings continue across Oakmont. Locals are in a panic, with most of the reported disappearances occurring in the Shells, Salvation Harbor, and Grimhaven Bay. Captain Caleb Lyons of the Oakmont Police has put out a call for information. Our evidence suggests a link between these disappearances and the charity organization EOD that has recently risen to prominence among the city's poor, said Lyons. Most of the victims seems to have either joined this group or been a recipient of their alms. We encourage anyone with the information to come forward. The Chronicle reminds readers to avoid any suspicious newcomers, especially Innsmouthers, and to remain at home during evening hours. Stay alert. Okay. The professor's fact list. Westbrook usually has his lunch about 2:30. Get some soap. Anna always stays at the fish market. She shouldn't learn about me. New hauls of fish arrive every 2 days. An ounce per box will be enough. The guard spends most of his time on the second floor during the night. Think about it a way to divert suspicion from Westerbrook. Don't want him to come to any harm. Don't forget to return the flask to the storage. Think about plan B. Well, that's pretty damning evidence right there. Disturbance in the shells as fighting breaks out between locals and Innsmouthers. The cause of the conflict appeared to be the disappearance of several women, with the locals accusing a group of Innsmouthers of the crime. The Oakmont police continue to investigate the vanishings, but as the case remains unsolved, one source from the shelves reports that traces of fish scales and seaweed were found at multiple victims' homes, which seems to have precipitated the fight. I'll take as many clues as I can. Okay.
The door won't budge.
Watch now.
I loved you. I always loved you.
Okay. I'll take it.
And judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around?
Oh, hello.
Okay, let's see what we have here.
George, I can't live like this anymore. There's something I have to tell you.
I don't care what your damn EOD cult demands, Anna! I thought the child was mine. Mine!
Oh, damn.
You will never understand our cause! My child is blessed by the sea! I'm leaving you, George!
George Cavendish. He had a wife named Anna. She had a baby that was not his, but blessed by the sea and claimed by the EOD.
I wonder if it's
This
the
caused their
same Anna.
split.
Whoa, what was that? Why would you just... That's creepy.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Calm down. My name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator.
Right now, you look like someone who's breaking into my house. A burglar. Explain yourself.
Easy there. Anna from the fish market asked me to find you. You know her, right?
I should have guessed. I know her much better than you think. What does she want from me now? She already took everything I have.
It's not about what she wants. It's about what you did. Poisoning the fish. Sound familiar? Yeah, I can prove you did it.
Hold on. Before you jump to conclusions, I want you to know that I had a good reason to do what I did. It all comes back to Anna.
Oh, this should be fun. What's your good reason for poisoning innocent people? You know the EOD are feeding the hungry, don't you?
No, that's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those
Initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them. They kidnap ordinary folks, too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this. How?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Look, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
What's Anna got to do with all this?
As you might have already gleaned, she was my wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it all starts to come together now.
The EOD robbed me of her. It all started with the free fish. We were all short on food at the time, and then they hooked her with their nonsense about the benevolent sea and greater good. I looked past it for some time, but then...
She became pregnant.
Yes. At first, I was over the moon. But then one day she came to me, that snake, and told me that the child was not mine. She said it was blessed by the sea, that it was demanded by the EOD. Doomed take them! I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
So what's your next move?
I was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
What did she mean, blessed by the sea?
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That K-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones. They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
Where did you learn all of this? This information about the EOD?
After Anna left, I had nothing. But I did have a lot of time to research Innsmouthers, the EOD, and the story behind them. It is an old and powerful organization. They appeared back in the mid-19th century in Innsmouth, and the first people with the Innsmouth syndrome started showing up around that same time.
Ah, perhaps not coincidentally.
No, of course not. And the EOD is immensely rich. The sudden rise to power of the Blackwood family happened right after they joined them.
Keep talking. Now, what is it you want from me?
Poison the rest of the fish. It's spreading, but it's not enough. The EOD trusts you enough to deal with me, so it should be simple for you. My agent inside the EOD reports that they've just received a fresh haul. That's your target.
Fuck. This doesn't sound right.
Your agent inside the EOD. Is he fairly high up the ranks?
Ah, I see where this is going. You need something from the EOD too.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a certain person who may be held by them.
My agent can arrange that. If someone is being held by the EOD, he'll know it. It's a win-win situation.
All right. Look, I'm gonna need to think about this.
Of course. But don't be too long. I'm going to need an answer before I let you go. I hope you can understand why.
Holy, what a plot twist. Alright, well, that's all the time I have. Thank you all for joining me. Hopefully you all join for the next one. It's getting pretty exciting. Alright, y'all take care.